What's good, people? We're back at Tuesday night AMA coming right at you. I don't know about you, Adam. I was just thinking while that intro was playing, man. Something about that piano and the
Yeah.
beat bumping in my headphones just
It's the,
gets me.
yes, sir. It's
And
that
I love
piano, that little piano in there, man. Yes, sir.
when I first heard it, it was like, all right. But the longer we keep doing this, the more that shit grows on me.
Yes,
The
sir.
more
I'm glad to hear you say that, man, because I feel like that's a dope little fucking intro right there.
like I kind of want to rip the sound and like use it as a workout playlist. But I
Yeah.
don't work out, so I guess it doesn't matter unless you count these guns.
Ooh.
What's going on, everybody? Glad you can tune in for another Tuesday night AMA. How we doing, Adam? How we feeling? I see you got the creamsicle on.
Ready to go, man. Hey,
Is that Mike Evans? Is that
this is.
13?
I feel like this is
Ooh,
we need to start thinking all the
nice.
dynasty stuff, Mike. We always, feel like there's so many people that treat this guy like he's geriatric. Like, listen, man, we're about to push for the season. Stop sleeping on Mike Evans, man.
Yeah, Jay, glad you could join us, man. Glad you could join us. The only time the only thing he's on time for. You sound like my wife, but she wouldn't even be on time for this. She'd be like, "I'm still doing my hair."
Y'all crazy, man.
Give me like 5 minutes. Adam, I made the thumbnail. JK Dobbins. So we're gonna kick it off. We gotta talk about JK Dobbins before the questions really start piling in.
Let's dive into it.
Woo! Man, it's hard because a lot of negative around JK Dobbins, right? May start on the up, could be 4 weeks, could be 6 weeks, could be 7 weeks. How's he doing after he comes back? We talked about the podcast. I think you quoted me today where you said, "If I got J.K. Dobbins, I'm shitting my
I'm
pants."
shitting my pants on J.K. Dobbins. That was one of the more underrated and better lines of that
Golly, man.
podcast.
I love J.K. Dobbins as a talent, right? He is an absolute special talent. He's very exciting. You know better than I would, right? Being the Ohio State guy, how good I had to watch that shit in the Big
Yeah, man.
Ten, right? Ohio State's on every fucking Saturday night. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I got plenty of exposure to J.K. Dobbins in college, but man, I loved what he did in the NFL too. Highly, highly efficient. He was really coming on strong there to end the year.
yeah.
You're like, man, Mark Ingram's moving on. We were expecting, you and I both expected huge things from J.K. Dobbins last year, and then fucking John Harbaugh, just
Honestly, man, that's.
fuck.
I'm a Browns fan and I hate the Ravens. So like, but I don't give a fuck about that right now. Like that's just so
Stupid.
it's so insane, man. When you really think
Yeah.
about now what they're dealing with is not only they lose him all season. Now he's not going to probably be right he's not going to be able to play for so long, then not be right. It's just insane. So that you get that 20th preseason win. Get the fuck out of here. How insane is that?
All right, Adam. Do you think from all the injury analysis that we get, I mean, we have a lot of dope injury people in the space, right? And Jeff Mueller is one of the guys that I think I'm saying it. Mueller, whatever. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name, Jeff.
We still love you, Jeff.
Yeah, still love you, even though you owe me a Javante jersey because no way fucking Jimmy's starting 8 games this year. But anyways, we got a lot of people like him out there where they're like, you guys need to be cautious on J.K. Dobbins, and the LCL is highly concerning, the multi ligament injury. And it's something that I touched on, not with J.K. Dobbins, but with Chris Godwin, right?
Right.
And why I've kind of been out on Chris Godwin is the multi ligament injuries don't have the greatest track record as far as coming back.
Yeah.
So, Adam, you and I both, I checked the rankings before I came on. You dropped him as well. I dropped him today. Where do we got him now? Like, what's your feeling? Tell the people.
I dropped him a few days ago. I think I still like where I have him. Let me just pull it up to be sure. I believe I took him to 15, right?
Spoiler alert for both of us. It's 15.
Yeah. Okay.
15.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's appropriate, given everything. But man, it's just I have a lot of concerns now on him. Even though I was so in on him going into his sophomore year, I think there was a lot of the narrative of he's not going to get the passing work, which I was kind of ready to defend. And I think that they were talking a lot. Now, it didn't translate on the field. We never saw it. But there was a lot of talk of getting him involved in the passing game. I know you saw that highlight picture.
Which they did last year with the shitty running backs that they had. Right? Tyson got involved. Lat Murray got involved. Fucking Devontae Freeman
got some catches, right?
Yeah. They threw to the running back. Lamar himself I don't want to hear it was because of Tyler Hunt. No, Lamar was actually checking down as a running back.
Yeah. So. And so, and I remember seeing that one highlight where he was like in the end zone, just looking crazy. He jumped up and got some pass. Like, I was excited for him. And then now you're dealing with this. I think the problem is this, though, Mike. He's going into year 3. Okay, so let's just be realistic for a second about timeline and expectations, even if you think he's going to be a good player still in the future. The reality of the dynasty thing is he's not going to play for a while, so his stock's going to come down. Let's say he's on the pup. You're missing 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he comes back week 7. Likely, they're going to have to manage his workload, even if they want him to be the feature back down the road, right? Yep. And so even if he's involved in the passing game, if he's on a light workload for, I don't know, the first 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, assuming he doesn't re-injure anything, like his stock's going to be down, and then he's not going to be catching the passes because of his volume. He's probably not going to get enough carries because he was already struggling with the carry rate when his rookie season. Man, as much as I want to believe in the talent and that he can put fantasy points up in a couple seasons, like this year to me, coming off the ACL and the LCL, Mike, I can't see anything happening this year that's going to make you feel really good about JK.
So keep trade cut for whatever the fuck it's worth. Still has him as RB12. That's going to keep falling, I would imagine.
I would think. There's your crowdsourced data, by the way.
Deco on his ADP has him as RB16 for last month and last week. So He's been RB16 for a while. RB16 I like. We just talked about both of us being RB15 territory. Yeah. I have such a hard time moving him any lower, right? Well, we can kind of touch on like Nick Chubb and Dalvin Cook, the guys right below him. But then you're getting into like the Jacobs and the Monty and the Aaron Jones, like those kind of guys.
The outlier for us and for the Adeko FF, which is that's not his, that's just sleeper API, right? But,
yeah.
The outlier for the majority of the population still in us would be Derrick Henry, and I'm not putting Derrick Henry ahead of him.
I can't. If we're so worried about the fucking JK Dobbins injury, man, you got to be worried about a guy who got a fucking broken foot and weighs 255
Yeah, that's where I draw the line. I mean, if you want to bet on a special big human being talent, go ahead. It's just not for me.
I'd rather miss out. You know what I mean? I'd rather just not have any shares and just miss out. I'll take him at value, at cost. Like if I get a good value on him, sure. Right. I'm willing to roll the dice on fucking anybody. But JK, long-term outlook, the thing that I have such a hard time about moving him down is, yes, maybe this season's another lost season, or maybe it's a slow season. You're looking at 10 fantasy points per game. Something fucking uninspiring, RB24, RB25, whatever. What's it look like when he gets one more year next year? You know what I mean? That's the one thing I'm always going to hold on. Granted, that's going to be year 4 of JK Dobbins, and that's we the old dynasty thing, man. You need to be out of these running backs by year 4. Year 3 you need to be looking on. Year 4 you need to sell. I don't know if the injury timelines kind of reset that a little bit for Baltimore and him as far as, 2 kind of lost seasons. If they're like, let's see what happens in 2023. Yeah. And then it'll be, he was a 2nd-round pick, so that's going to be the last year of his rookie.
Well, that's what I was just
be playing for a fucking contract, right?
That's what I was just going to say. Mike, here's the thing, though, right? Much like we love, I was going to make a comparison. I still think he's probably a better talent than this person. I've always believed that. Yeah. But Miles Sanders, man, I want you to think about this right now.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders is now year 4. We've seen spurts, but we haven't seen enough. And he's playing for a contract. But if it doesn't happen for Miles Sanders, like this year, you're talking complete fallout. And I'm not saying JK is going to go quite that low next year.
Maybe.
But shit, maybe. Why is it out? Why is it out of the possibility, right?
Okay. So would you say then, if he's being valued, let's say it is the actual RB16 prices. I don't fucking believe keep trade cut because it's just people who just randomly put shit most of the time. But RB16 seems realistic to me. And for you and I, if we just had to rank them RB15, would you be willing to get out of your JK Dobbins right now at RB15 prices? So you're looking at first and a second back in return.
Yeah,
equal guys around that range.
Yeah, you just look at ADP and you look at my rankings. You'll see that I would prefer the guy two spots after him, Kenneth Walker. I would prefer Antonio Gibson, right? Yeah. Those two especially, if I can make the pivot, I'm doing it immediately.
Do you have any interest in some of these older assets? I mean, just generally.
If you're a contender, yeah,
different story. But just say on your general rosters where you have JK Dobbins, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Your rebuilds or your youth movements, those kind of things. Because contender's an easy call. I mean, we were talking about a little bit in Heisman chat where it was, hey, I'd trade my JK Dobbins right now for Josh Jacobs plus on a contender, easy, and that's no hesitation for me or Aaron Jones. And we were just having the conversation before we got on air about another guy in the same fucking division, Nick Chubb, and the pivots that we would make off of Nick Chubb with the Deshaun Watson news.
Right.
J.K. Dobbins, younger side, though. And if you're thinking like, hey, he'll be playing for a contract next year, he's still only this age, blah, blah, blah. On your youth movement teams, what are you willing to pivot off down? I would imagine it's probably not going to be for one of these running backs because most of these running backs are older ones, unless you can find somebody. If I can, like I said a second ago, those Gibson haters or those Cam Akers haters or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I get that one.
Even if I'm on a true rebuild, like what you and I would call a rebuild, probably the only running back I'd be wanting to trade him off for, a guy that I could probably get back from some people, would be Kenneth Walker. Even on my rebuilds, the Cam Akers, I mean, I may have him on a rebuild, but I would always be looking to just move those points off my roster, right? So probably I would look for Kenneth Walker.
Here's a good one for
you can get Gibson, but I would just take picks if I could at this point.
I would love the picks, but say you can't get him. Here's a good one for you. Just a hypothetical last one, then we'll start moving on to questions.
Yeah.
13 minutes on fucking JK Dobbins. But
let's do it. What do you got?
A guy you and I both love, right? You're in a youth movement. You're in a rebuild, whatever you want to call it, right? You're in that middle ground, and you have JK Dobbins on your team. Would you send him? This is something we normally don't do. So
I'm on a rebuild.
You're on a rebuild. Would you send him away for Rashad Bateman straight up? Raven to Raven, baby. You know, where the running backs over wide receivers.
I'll tell you what, man.
We
may have to do a Bateman session because of all this later. I'd probably be trying to get a plus. Like if you told me that that was my best pivot, I would do it. But I think I would try to get some type of little plus thrown in there, even though that may not happen.
All right. So we got one from Weaves right here. I guess he typed it out earlier today when I put up the link, so it had disappeared on him. But he
appreciate you, Weaves.
He was offered Chubb for his mid to late 23 first in a 10-team start 9 half PPR. His team is likely top 3 as it is. Didn't feel too keen on it. Where do you stand on the whole backfield going forward? Man, kind of crazy that this comes up, and we were just literally spending time talking to Ray and the other patrons over at Destination Devi about Nick Chubb. Adam, I'm going to say if it's a late 23 first, and if it's his 23 first, he thinks he's confident in it being top three, even in a 10-team start 9.
Top 3 though, that could be 107.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it as much as we just talked about Nick Chubb.
Yeah, the reason I would say this, Weaves, sounds like you're pretty locked into being a contender. Kind of what we discussed, and I think that I would be thinking on this team here is, okay, if you're very confident that you have enough depth and that pick is going to be, you're a playoff team, you're going to have a chance to win the title. I think Chubb is probably going to not have the scoring upside, touchdown upside, because the offense isn't going to be as good. He may not be overly efficient. They're probably going to say, let's stop 24. But you throw that late 23 first, say it's a 108 or later, probably a solid receiver or something like that. But even if he gives you that inefficiency this year, if Watson's back next year, for you in this build, you're looking at maybe it's only a year or 2 left on Chubb, but you're looking at a top 5 upside guy, I think, that following season. So
that is something I think people do need to realize is that Nick Chubb is probably being overvalued right now. I think that's pretty fair to say. If a full season or most of the season Watson suspension is likely, which most people believe at this point.
Right.
Ray said it if I'm a fucking defense, I'm just stacking the box. We're going to take away Nick Chubb and, let Jacoby Brissett or whoever the fuck it is try to beat us with Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones and Anthony Schwartz and David Bell. We feel good about this. But when Watson back in 2023, if that's the case and full go,
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, even for one more year, as much as I want to be an ageist or like, these old running backs sell, like I could really get amped up for some Nick Chubb, kind of in the same way that I'm really amped up for some Aaron Jones this year, right?
Yeah.
Just because of the situation, Devontae gone, it's like, he ain't got a fucking choice, man. It's going to be the Aaron Jones show as long as he's healthy. I'm excited for him for at least one more year. I could see me being that with Nick Chubb, not because of the pass catching, but because of this offense is going to be really good and very highly efficient. Who knows what they add in between? They get another receiver, or David Bell develops, or Schwartz develops, or whatever the case may be. I could get very excited about Nick Chubb's scoring opportunities. Maybe Kareem Hunt's gone by then too.
That's what I was just going to hit on, man. Is Kareem Hunt could be gone. He's actually Kareem Hunt's going to be gone. And then this is the other thing. Like, think about Aaron Jones right now and how much upside we're talking about.
Yeah.
And think about also that A.J. Dillon is supposed to be kind of surfacing this year, right? Yeah. That's not that creeping around doesn't even exist for him in next year in Cleveland, man.
So, man, if I'm looking at it, if I'm pretty confident it's a mid to late, like my pick, if it's my pick, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like I'm on top 2, top 3 team easy in this league. I'll send it now. I'll write it out, see what happens this year. But I'm really looking forward like 2 years, like one more year of Nick Chubb.
And I think knowing that it's start 9, if you're that good already, I'm assuming you can put him in at like the flex right now, and then next year you're probably really looking at it a juice squad. So. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
It's something else on top of it, meaningful, like a second or something. I'm kind of like, no, like I'm good. Like let me go try to look for something else. Maybe let me go see what the Aaron Jones guy is up to.
Right.
See what he wants. So, all right. So T-Rex got some comments there about JK. Given JK's age, athleticism, and full year of recovery, he should be 100% by October. He's going to be slow out the gate. That's the biggest worry: is how slow is it going to be, and how long is it going to take? Right.
Well, and listen, I was a Cam Akers guy at cost last year, right? And that was a really bad injury. But cost last year after that was like 7th, 8th, 9th round. JK Dobbins is coming off of a LCL and ACL. Like that's something we don't really see that often. I expect him to eventually recover, but I don't know if he's going to be 100% even by the fall.
Weave says, feels like Akers is getting too much of a pass. This is your guy, so I'll let you take this one. Could be a Denver type slow.
Oh my gosh!
Listen, man,
are we doing Darrell Henderson again, man?
I took him in that auction.
What'd you pay? $1, $2?
Yeah, something like that. It was like maybe $4. He's fine. I will acknowledge, as much as like shit I love to give you on Cam Akers, Adam, like Darrell Henderson is just kind of whatever. He had some moments.
Darrell Henderson last year. Think about like. They don't want Darrell Henderson. They went out and got Sony Michel. Like, Darrell Henderson is not it, man. He may take a 25, 35% workload. I'll give you that. Like, to me, this is my thing about Akers. I want you to think about this, right? We just talked about with Nick Ercolano. Joe Mixon was no different than every other year. He didn't really catch a whole lot of passes.
Yeah.
He just did what? He just did what? He had 16 touchdowns.
He scored a shit ton of touchdowns because that offense was highly efficient.
This offense is very good. It's going to be very good again. Cincinnati, we were talking about last year, didn't have a great offensive line. I don't even care if LA's isn't very good again. Like, they're going to be scoring the ball.
That's true.
Cam Akers is 20-2. He came back. Like, people are all like, I feel like people saw like not great stat lines from his return in the playoffs, and they're kind of shitting their pants. Can we stop? The dude, it was 5 months, and he came off an Achilles injury, guys. If he doesn't fumble, they were trying to give him full workload. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's going to be absolutely ridiculously good, but I think it's in the cards that he could be a 65, 70% snap share on a great offense.
I love it. I'm not quite as high on it, but I will join you in the defense of Cam Akers. Like, I like Cam Akers because of the offense. I believe in the talent too.
I really do too.
I seen some article out there of he who shall not be named.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
About him being inefficient at Florida State. We give him a pass because of the line, and then he couldn't beat out Darrell Anderson. Like, I don't know what you were watching, but when Cam Akers was healthy his rookie year, he was sure as fuck beating out Darrell Henderson. So I'm just going off of what I said. When he didn't have cracked fucking ribs, he was out there fucking balling. So
and let's just say, like, honestly, Weaves, I appreciate the question, and I think there's a lot of people that have the same question. What you put in there is part of the reason I'm so excited, because if Henderson's the reason we're worried, like, we need to stop being worried.
All right, what's good, Alex? Got to see you in here. Yeah, Weaves excited. Bateman session.
Yes, sir.
We're all for the Rashad Bateman.
We're gonna have a Bateman session at some point.
Steve, what's going on, man?
Steve, what's up, Steve? Appreciate it, man.
What am I paying for Aaron Jones? Adam, I think my late on a contender, my 23 first gets it done.
Yeah, I was gonna say
easy, and I would do that. Fuck that.
I think a late
23 part. I want the fucking cash, and I will take Aaron Jones in my lineup in 2022 over my late 23 first.
I would say this, man. It has to be a team that you feel like is really good and probably has some depth, so that this 23 first, if you send it for Jones, does not become mid or early.
Yeah, backfire.
Right. Yep. If I'm a true contender with enough horses, yeah, I'm sending that late first for Aaron Jones in a heartbeat. I think, though, the reality is, if I'm not that elite contender, like, I'm not buying Aaron Jones. The only way I'm buying Aaron Jones is if I'm in that situation. And if I am, I'm sending the late first, 24, 23, whatever.
Oh, I like that. From Alex, man, Stefanski taking it easy on Chubb this year, knowing they're not going to be shit. Dearness Johnson, Jerome Ford season. I would imagine Jerome Ford gets some run if Watson's out and they're just kind of middle of the road and poop. Man, why not run Dearness Johnson more than fucking Nick Chubb, right? Pound his ass up in there. I
mean, if you watch, I'm a Browns fan. That's kind of, yeah, I'll take that one from you. I'm a Browns fan, and last year, I mean, like, everyone's like, well, why won't they give him the rock? I don't know. He's going to give him the rock all of a sudden this year. Like, last year, there was a lot of times where it felt like he should have gotten more carries. So, yeah, I would expect them to have a similar workload this year.
Adam, you're in Cleveland, man. What do you think about this? Chubb and Hunt too good for the Browns to cut. Hunt not happen unless Watson is banished.
Well, Watson's probably going to be banished for this season. So he's done after this year, I believe, on his contract. If they don't think they're going to win, I don't know.
See them re-upping him.
I can't say never, because maybe he's so cheap and his market's not great because he's getting older, but it's going to have to be a really cheap deal.
I would think with his efficiency and what he's shown in the past and kind of everything being behind him for off the field, there would be a market out there that would pay more than what Cleveland could offer or is willing to offer.
That's 100% where I'm at with it. I think the other thing you got to remember is the Browns, for a while, for not just a while, a long fucking time, like, have never had to worry about a quarterback making a shit ton of money on their team. Watson's deal will kick in that following year.
Yeah. Darrell Henderson is the definition of a jag. No matter how much of $4 I pay out of $1,000 budget. A desperation to get a fourth running back. Terrible. Yep. Yeah. Any laid out picker. All right. Yep. So I got Najee and a 24-second for Jameson. I assume Jameson Williams, not Jameson Crowder. Let's assume the good Jameson.
Jameson Williams,
or the
easy.
Whiskey. Maybe got whiskey. Jameson Williams, a 23 first, a 24 first. What do y'all think? Najee and a second for Jameson Williams, 2 firsts and Jameson Williams.
That's a fair deal.
Probably, I would say probably just a little bit below market price of what Najee would go for.
I mean,
so for me, I like it anytime that you can get like a discount on an elite tier running back, right?
Right.
Like it's probably not.
But here's the thing. I don't know that it's that much of a discount, Mike, because that Jameson Williams is a 7th round pick and he's a 1st round pick in rookies. Like, you're basically paying truly 3 firsts for Najee in the second.
But you get the second back. You know what I mean?
Right. So I think you're paying. Yeah, it's a slight discount. I would say it's Najee is that 2 firsts and a second or 3 first guys. So I think I like this for you as long as your team is really built to let those first be late. I love it for you.
And like he said, he's contending. So I mean, if you're contending too, let 23 first.
Yeah. If you know those picks are going to be late, I love it for you.
Just generically, like if you're like they're 2 mid picks.
No. That's a lot.
I don't know, man. 2 mid picks. I still think you're paying like market, kind of what you were saying. Like it's market or just slightly below market for Najee.
Yeah,
I guess
I'm
it's
just saying
fine.
because those picks could end up
If
being that.
If you're
If
fucking
they're late,
contending and
I
that
love that
23
for
is
you.
yeah, that 23 is gonna be late. Fuck yeah.
Yes.
See ya.
Peace.
Out the door.
Gone.
Boom. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate that, man.
It's a rare affair. We don't get many of those.
Yeah, we I don't know. We tend to pump up some of these absolute what. There's some deals that go on in our fucking Discord and shit, man. It's crazy.
Well, that's why we that's what catches the eye. You know what I mean? When I'm scrolling through, right? Just every now and then, you know, Maddie posts a deal of the 209 for Jacoby Myers. I didn't know it was going to be so fucking spicy to everybody. So we put that out there.
Listen, you never know what's going to happen in there. One day, someone's going to tell you, I want 3 firsts for said player. And the very next day, he's going to get a first and a second. So,
oh, man, crazy. All right. So we had a little bit of discussion this morning, too. I guess we'll just go into it. We don't have too many questions in queue right now.
Feel free to ask more, though.
Yep. Fire away, boys. Or girls. Jesus. Buffalo situation, real quick. Your thoughts. Receiver-wise. Gabe Davis, Jamison Crowder, Isaiah McKenzie. I don't know why the fuck I got to say his. Khalil Shakir. At cost, who would you rather have?
Of those 4 receivers?
Yeah, of those 4 receivers. McKenzie, Jamison Crowder,
Shakir, and Gabe Davis.
Yep.
I would take in best ball easily Crowder at cost. Crowder. I mean, because Crowder is going to cost you nothing.
18th round pick last I checked. Wide receiver 84.
Yeah, I'll take that. At cost, I mean, I'm taking that.
Gabe Davis is a 9th rounder, wide receiver 40.
Is he going that high now? Damn.
No shit, man. He's going over.
He's going 1 pick next to Ayuk.
He's going over. He's going right next to Allen Robinson. Right after him.
He's going right, yeah. Right
before Brandon Cooks, Hunter Renfrow, Hopkins, George Pickens, Dotson, Michael Thomas, Christian Kirk, Chase Claypool, Kadarius Toney. Anybody on that list that I just named off that you would be interested in over Gabe Davis?
I have a few.
I know for me.
I have a few.
Okay. Maybe Renfrow.
I would prefer him over Renfrow.
Kadarius Toney?
I think I would rather have Dotson, Pickens, Toney, Claypool. Depending on build, I'd probably take Cooks over him. I'll say this, man. Like I've been wanting not to get in on the Gabe Davis thing for a while, just because it's like, okay, like this is probably, especially after the playoff thing, right? He goes bananas in that playoff game, and then they don't get the ball back and they lose. There's a lot of hype around him, but man, I was expecting some more to come in. Like I don't think Jamison Crowder is really going to cause Gabe Davis any issues with his role in this offense, right? No. So I'll say this, man. It's not at this current cost. It's probably not where I'm taking it. Obviously, I just told you a list of people behind. You can see my rankings. I probably need to adjust them higher, though, Gabe Davis, because if you are a believer at all, I mean, he's got this year, Mike, to show you. Like if he's going to have this year to have a chance. Now
it's set up on a fucking platter, right? Like
it is. Here it is. This is your shot, buddy. You go earn a contract this year if you fucking ball out with Josh Allen. So it's too rich for me, because if I know I'm 1 pick away from Brandon Ayuk, Mike, I don't want it. But I don't know. Crazier things have happened. It's just not for me.
There just seems like so many better options in the next couple of rounds. I'd rather just shoot my shot on than Gabe Davis. So in return, I mean, I'm not a Jamison Crowder guy, but it's the cost of a 18th round startup pick. I mean, what's that up? Less than like mid to late third in terms of rookie picks? Maybe a 4th.
Yeah, it's a 3rd. I mean,
like a third and a wink. Like, do I got to give you a smile on my 3rd, and then you
got to give them a massage? You know,
what kind?
Well, Paris Campbell is going the 19th, and I think he's probably a 3rd. So I think that's a 3rd round range, late 3rd.
Give me the fucking shot on Jamison Crowder, even though he kind of has health issues. Ray's brought that up before, but
yeah, the age and the health issues I think would be the thing with him. I mean, listen, if he stays healthy in that offense, I expect him to catch fucking how many balls is he going to catch in that offense? It'd be insane.
Oh man, I would say he gets over 100 100 targets.
Yeah, I mean, just those
He's
little
out
short
there.
intermediary routes. Crazy.
And two, one of the weird things, I didn't know this, so I was looking it up on Player Profile when they were talking about it, but number 1 in route win rate in the entire NFL.
Oh, he's always open. Always open.
He's a 7-Eleven, baby. He never closes. He's always open.
Always open, man.
All right, we got some more questions. They came in. So in a rebuild, what were you trying to get for Dalvin? Should I wait until sell to in season? You're going to get more as the redrafters come back. This is something that always happens as the redrafters come back and the redraft content on Twitter and YouTube and all that starts to ramp up. The vets start to climb, right? We're still kind of in rookie season a little bit, but OTAs are kind of wrapping up. Mini camps are wrapping up. Training camp will get kicked off and vet season will start to rise because the redrafters do come back. So, I mean, if you can get it now, Adam, like two firsts would easily
two firsts, anytime, any place. Dalvin Cook's off my team if I'm trying to rebuild. Here's the thing I would say. Mike's correct. As the rebuild season or the redraft season approaches, his value will begin to. You'll get a lot of DMs and PMs about him.
Yep.
Here's the problem for me. I need to know. Well, I don't need to know, but if you do that, I'm not waiting long to move Dalvin Cook because this is a guy that has had a lot of nicks and bruises and injuries and ACL back in his rookie season. I do not on my rebuild want to fucking deal with I'm holding out for more and it's week 4 and he goes down and I fucked up. Because at that point, bye-bye your Audi 5000, my friend. It's gone.
So this is something we talk to our patrons about, and we kind of emphasize is Adam and I will make ranks, and we don't expect everybody that abides by our ranks or whatever. That's what ranks are fucking for. You can pick and choose, and you'd be like, oh, well, this is interesting to have him ranked so high.
Right.
Adam, you and I both have Kenny Walker ranked ahead of Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I think you can get Kenny Walker plus from a contender.
Market, on the other hand, would tell you Dalvin Cook over Kenny Walker by a couple rounds, almost round and a half. But that's a move you should make. That's a move I would make.
I think you get Kenny Walker and a second pretty easily. From a lot of people right
it's
now.
A good exercise for the people listening out there too. Like, how would you rank them? Like, you can just do a quick one. Like, how would you rank them? And then you can go to resources. Like, if you want to use Keep Trade Cut, go for it. If you want to use Player Profilers, ADP off of safe leagues, use it. I prefer to use Adecos, and I think a lot of people are starting to come around on how good it is just pulling it from Sleeper API, real drafts. But you can go to that and look and see what people are valuing them in startups right now, and then try to exploit it in the same way. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm fully with you. I got a question I want to get to because I saw the sunglasses come in on the live stream, and I had a feeling this was coming. So let's discuss this one right here. So, Gene, my question to you would be: Is this lineup or best ball? Because I know it's best ball.
He comes in with the train question about our own fucking leagues. I love it, Gene.
So you know what? I won't answer this one. I'll let Mike take this one. Best ball.
Do I have to take it? I'm in the fucking league too. I don't want to see either one of you get better. Like, I want to win this one.
No, I just want to know what your thoughts are on the deal. It's a 14-team best ball league.
Give up Swift for Mixon and Hollywood Brown. I'd rather have the Mixon and Hollywood Brown. This is kind of something that we talked about. Like, if my goal was to compete for this year, I'd rather have Mixon and Hollywood Brown. No doubt. Yeah. I
love you, Gene.
as much like shit as I talk about like Hollywood Brown, I'd rather have those two. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily for me in a best ball. Like, give me the 2 shots of guys entering my line. Unless maybe, Adam, if this was a start 9. But even then, like, I think Swift and Mixon's production is going to be so damn close that even in a start 9 best ball, I'd still probably just want the extra piece just for the thing to get in my lineup because I don't think Hollywood's a complete scrub.
No, I think the reality of this deal is, like, on this season side, the problem with the deal is Mixon and Swift, like you said, are probably in the realm of each other points per game, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is on the dynasty side, Swift carries probably more upside and a longer shelf life, right?
Yep.
But to me in best ball, especially the other thing about 14-team, Mike, that we all should know is that the depth gets tougher. So 2 for 1s and 14-team is really hard. I did make some offers for a 2-for-1, probably higher than I really should have went, but I did it, and Hollywood Brown was like, I can't do that high.
At least T-Rock gives some good. You could probably get 2 times first.
This was on Cook, right?
Yeah, on
Downing. Yeah, I would agree. Yep.
And Dawson, Jesus Christ. We got the 4 touchdowns, so he's the GOAT. I love it.
Jay.
Haven't been able to get 2-time first. Only worry is down. This is in regards to Dalvin Cook. Is he gets hurt week 2, kind of like Adam said, I can't get anything valuable. Yeah, I'm not just taking
no.
23 first. Fuck
especially
that.
Because if there's
that's the panic move. What I just exploited today.
Yeah, Mr. B, I'll tell you this, man. Because here's the problem: you want to get rid of Cook, and I'm with you. You want to move him. Just give yourself a couple months, man. I'm telling you, if it's week 1 and really nothing's up at that point, we can have another discussion then. But right now, you take this 23 first and you panic because you just want to get off Cook. And if that team ends up being a real contender because you just threw them Cook and they win, or they're the 111, 112, played yourself, man. Don't do it.
So, Barry, I think this is a follow-up to the Hollywood Brown Mixon thing. If I was going to take Swift for...
I'll tell you, I don't know if is this bad practice to tell you what my offer was?
Nah, fuck it. Whatever. We're all friends here.
I
no way it gets used against us.
I feel like I made a solid offer, and I kind of was hoping he didn't take it after I made it. I made him. It was the same thing, but Juju instead of Hollywood.
Oh shit, Adam, I'm being pretty honest, man. If I was trying to compete this year, I think I'd take that. I would send you my DeAndre as much as I love DeAndre.
I know. I thought that's why I said as soon as I made the offer, I was like, man, it might be too much. Shoot.
Gene, just know you can reach out to me, man. You can reach out to me. And because we're in the same leagues together, right, I will give you advice. And because it's Adam, don't think I'm going to have his back all the time. I will try to fuck him more than I'll try to fuck anybody else in the league. I can guarantee it. Go back to our Kyle Pitts trade from last year. I show no mercy to Adam.
You showed me no mercy. Now, just know, Gene, because I'm a man and I'm a man of my word, if you still want that Juju deal, I'll make it, even though it's probably a bad one for me.
Mixon and Juju for Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that for G. I actually do. I would trade away Swift for that. I'd take the 2 pieces. As long as he's got the roster spots, which I know he does because he blew his entire budget.
I know he has the roster spots.
I know he's got the roster spots because those bets are probably super shit. Adam, what are you sipping on? Is that regular? Or do you switch it up?
This is one of my staples, my friend. Sazerac Rye. If you haven't had it, go get it. Rye whiskey. It's really good stuff. It's by Buffalo Trace.
All right. Hypothetical from Barry. Barry loves these. How far down would you go?
To me, Juju was where I started thinking about it. It's probably a little bit of an overpay in best ball, but I think that's about that 9th, 10th round is where I'm starting to decipher the points in my lineup versus the long-term shelf life of Swift. I think that's kind of where I discuss it.
So if I'm taking Mixon, this is to compete. This isn't
correct.
So this eliminates quite a few people, right? I don't want Jahan Dotson. I don't want fucking George Pickens. I don't want.
You wouldn't take Dotson though, still?
No,
man. Because what if Dotson's actually really good, and what if you can move him?
That's the moving part would be the only thing I'd be interested in. Adam, I've pretty much just come on to the Bob Lung consistency guide of if I'm competing, fuck them rookies, man.
All right.
I'm not taking the chances.
Let's say instead of value, let's just talk on the contending side, the pieces that you want on a contendee. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Brandon Cooks. So wide receiver 41. Allen Robinson for sure. Ayuk, I would do. I think once you get into the Christian Kirk, Chase Claypool, maybe Michael Thomas, we'll have a conversation about.
Mike Juju's going at 8-11 right now, man. Shit.
Yeah, he's going pretty.
That was a girthy offer I made, actually.
Yeah, you were on the Sazerac when you made it.
I was certainly not sober.
Unfortunately, Ryan, you did miss the Dobbins talk, but that's what you can just go back. After this is over, you just go back. It's the first 14 minutes.
It was almost, it was damn near 20 minutes, Yeah,
it became the AMA about JK Dobbins. But I can't.
If you got a question, we'll answer it, though, Ryan. So go ahead.
Fire away. I can't put the fucking man as a thumbnail and then not talk about JK Dobbins, right? Adam has a deep rotation and bench upper. Brown. Let's go.
I love that.
Jesus.
No, and he knows what. See, that's why I won't get rid of Brown. You know, what can Brown do for you?
How many games has Cook missed over the last couple of years?
You know what's funny?
Interesting.
Mike, you know what I said before last year when all the Mixon hate was going on?
Yeah.
Cook and Mixon were having the flip-flop conversation, and he's missed more games than Mixon has.
Oh, for sure. So last year, Dalvin Cook, geez, I got James Cook on the mind. Dalvin Cook missed 4 games.
He's never played a full season, correct?
No. 4 games, 11 games, 14, and last year 13. Of course, that's a 17-game schedule, so he missed 4 games. The year before, 2 games. The year before that, 2 games. I'm not going to look at just games missed, though, because I've had a lot of Dalvin Cook on my teams, and I'm sure a lot of people have. You know all them games where he goes out in like the first or second quarter with a hamstring pull.
Bro,
you know
it honestly,
how fucking frustrating is that? Where it's like, whoo, got my 6 points, and that's all you're gonna get me, right? You pulled up late.
Man, there has been every single year, Mike. Every single year, one we just discussed, he's missed at least a game or more. And then on top of it, how many times, like you said, especially as you get fantasy football, I feel like we play this box fantasy football mindset in the summer. Like it's just, this is my team. These are my starters here. This is what I'm going to have in the playoffs. Motherfucker, do you not remember when Dalvin Cook is like, you don't even know if he's going to play all week. You don't know every single week. Like he's old now. The touches are insane that he has, Mike, because they have used him heavily every time they've had him.
It was last year. Was it last year or the year before? Some of this shit mixes up.
Last year was the whole arm thing, right?
You remember when he like broke his shoulder or whatever the fuck? Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, it was last year. That was last year. Yes.
Broke his shoulder, didn't know if he was going to play, then comes out. I think it was
suited up. Yeah.
And then fucking dominated against Pittsburgh. But it was like a Sunday night.
Every time he's getting tackled, you're like,
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But I remember it being a night game. It was a night game at some point. And struggling with do I put Dalvin Cook in my fucking lineup or do I not put Dalvin Cook in my lineup? Like, he's got a fucked up shoulder. He's got some good defense. Is he going to play? I think I ended up putting him in my lineup. But still, could you imagine it would be a very easy situation for you to be like, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to play it safe. And then he goes out and has a monster game. Like, how much animosity that brings for Dalvin Cook.
Mike, there is a reason that the best handcuff in all of fucking fantasy football for like 3 running seasons has been Alexander Mattison.
Nailed it. Torn labrum, threw on a sling, and then rushed for 30 attempts at 100 yards. Shout out to our man, Gene, who is in the chat here. But Gene and Ike, do you remember they had a podcast episode last year where it was like Dalvin Cook bionic arm or something?
Yeah.
God, I can't even remember what it was. I'm so mad that I fucked it up. Gene, if you're still in here, put the fucking name in the title. But the title was fucking dope.
Dude, Mike, I want you to think about this. I'm cool. I mean, I'm cool with taking that second. I'm still wanting to see the experience, but at this point, man, if you take the second, I don't blame you.
Go ahead and finish your Dalvin Cook thing.
I want you to think about this too, Mike. So he's got over 1,000 carries. Ooh. This is including his rookie season when he played 4 games. And he's got over 200 receptions, man. And he's going on, what is he going to be, 27 this season? And he's scheduled. I mean, we broke down. If you haven't listened, go tune into the podcast I was featured on with Gene and Ike. We broke down the whole NFC North. And that offense is scheduled to be Justin Jefferson, as much as Adam Thielen can play football and stay healthy, and Dalvin Cook. A fucking huge workload's coming for him again. Listen, man, he may smash, but I am so out on Dalvin Cook for the injury side, honestly.
I like him on my contenders just because there's not a lot I can do with him. Like,
correct,
if I were to sit down and, like, really dive into it, man, if I could work out some deals for, like, some Josh Jacobs or Aaron Jones and get some plus backs, kind of similar to what we were talking about with Nick Chubb, I should do that. But he's dope as fuck when he's playing, but he's frustrating as fuck. He's the Julio Jones of running backs.
I was going to use that argument or that comparison. I mean, and the thing about Julio is he's a receiver, and he kind of kept playing through those. And I think the shelf life we've seen on running backs, it would not be surprising me if those nagging injuries turned into serious time on the bench this season.
And we mentioned it before too. Like the whole domestic violence thing last year just fucking vanished. I never heard anything else about it. So I don't even know if that's still out there.
It seems like that's just done,
Gone,
over with.
like
Yeah.
it's over with.
I'm not going to say that it's impossible it doesn't get brought back up, but it seems like it's over.
Just over with. Just fuck it. All right, Adam Troutman for a 24-second. You said you're fine with it. God, it hurts my fucking soul to just trade Adam and Troutman away for a 22.
I would probably listen.
Fuck it, man.
I'll tell you why I would do it. I think I have him in like 60% of leagues or some shit. Sure, why not?
Just because you got too much of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I would go use the second to buy a tight end that I like more.
There you go.
Get a Zach
package
Ertz.
it up. Yeah.
Something that'll actually...
you get Zach Ertz for a second straight up.
Just fucking let's go. Oh man. Did you at least buy the guy that's
Oh, nice. That's so good.
Savage, man. T-Rock.
So
come on, man.
Here we go. I'm trying to bend someone over. I always like these.
I'm trying to bend someone over with Kate Otten for a second after Gronk news. If you can do that, make sure you hit us up, man, because I want to see that.
Send it. I'll say it's not impossible. Last offseason.
That's a boy C. Smith from
C. Smith. Yep.
So Dynasty Trade Show. Make sure you put it in that fucking.
I love it.
I will feature that if you can get a fucking second from Kate Otten.
You'd be shocked, man, in the summer how these people that throw away picks sometimes you get it done. I remember getting last year, Mike, a second for Trey McKitty.
Adam, if I could ask you, Kate Otten, where did he go to school?
I don't know, honestly, guys. I
was gonna say we got 12 people in here, you and me.
I won't lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. There's very few that I don't know. I've heard the name multiple times. I don't know where he went to school. Do you? Or did you Google search it?
I had no idea. But in the back of my mind, I was like, sounds like some guy who went to Washington to play tight end. So I pulled him up on Player Profiler.
He's in the big purple jersey, in Washington. He's a Husky.
Fucking Washington. But yeah, I guarantee you, man, most of these people in here would be like, I don't even know where the fuck he played. He just sounds cool. All right, just got off a cook for ETN. And Jesus, wait, this is criminal. That's illegal in most states.
Wait, I'm not sure. I mean, literally just for the fact of you getting absolutely blown on social media and the YouTube, you gotta join up in either mine or Mike's or Ray's Patreon just to drop those in, because that is a fucking wow.
Jeez, man.
Take it easy on the guy. Holy shit.
I would go into hideout somewhere.
Wait, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. You may want to lay low for a while. I watched Wade stab a man in the trident.
What Eminem say? You'd be safe for days if you shave your legs with Renee's razor blades.
Yeah.
Boom. Didn't think you were getting some fucking Eminem quotes tonight, but here you go.
Love it.
Modern day Shady McCoy. That is pretty, man. As a Philly fan,
good one, Jay.
Frustrating watching him because he just get hurt.
Yeah.
Damn it. Or I guess maybe he's just the doppelganger of Miles Sanders.
Mr. B's praying. Like, why can't I get that deal?
Do you just know that 1,500 touches is serious to God? But elite running backs can last until the 2,000 touch mark. Dalvin with his injuries, though, that's probably his last good year. That's the way to polish it off. Kate Otten is on my 10-man's wire, as he should be. I would say he's probably not a hot topic.
I know Kate Otten is owned in a lot of leagues, but not all of them.
Cameron Brate, I guess that's probably about all you get to be interested in. Aaron Jones has way less touches than you may expect for his age. He may run at a high level until he's 30. I can believe it. He's more on that Alvin Kamara career path, right? The usage has always kind of been capped for Aaron Jones. So we get another 2-3 years out of Aaron Jones, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I fully expect him to be able to give another year or two, but at the same time, it's not going to shock me if he gets hurt. But I'm expecting another year or two out of him.
Also, how many years did we have to watch Jamal Williams? Get meaningful touches.
Jamal Williams, for the real sickos that play a lot of leagues, remember when Jamal Williams won a championship for a lot of teams. When Aaron Jones with the Matthew Berry free Aaron Jones movement was going on, right?
Yeah. Do you remember last year the Jamal Williams hype and DeAndre Swift's dead because of him? How'd that work?
You know what? Actually, it's crazy, man, because I remember then when week 1, when he was the starter and was going to get all the touches. And he was the starter. But,
what was it? What was it? The A-back? He was the A-back?
Yeah, he was my A-back. And yeah, that was Anthony Lynn quote.
Yeah, and DeAndre Swift's my B-back.
You know what, Mike? I'm going to tell you this right now. Let me say this.
Please.
I told you my number 1 buy last year was DeAndre Swift. You heard it right here. Number 1 buy, Cam Akers. You guys are shitting on Cam Akers. Watch out.
That's your number 1 guy?
Number 1 buy this year. Shit. In the 5th round, Mike? Y'all are crazy.
I don't remember who my number 1 was for last year, but it probably wasn't good because it was probably Miles Sanders.
I had Miles Sanders at 2. I'm not going to say and tell you all my buys hit. I'm just telling you my number 1 buy was really good, and that's what my number buy is this year. You know, it's Cam Akers.
Hey, I had Derek Carr on my list. I know that much. Derek Carr for
it was
late first.
No. At least be honest. It was Derek Carr and like a slew of 5 other quarterbacks.
That's fine. That's fine, right? That's fine. Come on, man. Can't get them all right.
No,
what you do is
you give you 5 names so that you get one of them right, you know?
Listen, I was putting the content out there so youngins up and coming who are next could do the same shit I do and like quote tweet or be like, hey, I see this fucking idiot on Twitter. Right? I wanted people to be like me, right? Oh man. A 24 third for Jamal Williams. Would I take a 24 third for Jamal Williams? Absolutely. Would I pay a 24 third for Jamal Williams? Fuck no. Not a chance.
I'm not looking to buy Jamal Williams in any capacity. I'm pretty confident. Like, I'll say this, Mike, there's very few players that I'm like may not have a share of just because it's so random. I'm in 20-something leagues now, right? I can guarantee you that I don't have any Jamal Williams on any of my teams. I promise you that.
Yeah, I can be with you on that one too. My best trade this offseason was a 3-team trade. I don't think we've ever gotten a 3-team trade done. Have you gotten a 3-team?
There's always a fucking cuck that wants to act like I'm getting screwed.
Melonello.
But I've had some fair ones, and it's like, man, dude, it's so much harder. Like, I'll tell you why I think it's so cool and why I want to get one done is because it's so hard to get one person to get on the same page with another. Getting 3 people on the same page is almost like you just have to be so willing to make it work.
He sent away his 106 for basically a 23 first Tony and a 210. And he used that to get Calvin Ridley. Holy shit. He sent away the 106. You got a 23 first Tony and Calvin Ridley?
You can remove Calvin Ridley and the 210, and I'm good. I'm good with a 23 first and Tony. I mean, that's Garrett Wilson, but whatever. Garrett Wilson, Traylon Burks, whichever one falls. But yeah, that's easy.
I don't know. I mean, T-Rack, you've been around us for a while, man. You've been us. We've never hidden our DeAndre Swift love.
As a matter of fact, I put my DeAndre Swift love out on the very first episode that Patreon we ever had. So
I'm pretty sure you just put it out there, man. You weren't messing around.
You can go
DeAndre Swift is bad.
You can go play with me on Sleeper and see what my profile picture is. It's the same on all of them. It's DeAndre Swift.
What's your current exposure?
I'm actually pulling it up right now. See, this is the mind meld we have, you know? So here we go.
How hot it was at work today or how many vodkas I had before I hopped on here.
See, you know what? Can I? Yeah. I can't screen share on here, can I? Or can I?
Sure you can.
Share screen.
You got admin powers, man. This is an equal partnership.
Can you see it?
Click that little share button down there at the bottom.
This is preferences. Oh shit! I gotta allow it to happen.
This is fucking great live stream right here.
It's not working. I need to work on this. I got to do the preferences.
Right.
I'll read them for you right now since
it's not
working. Number 1, I told you. The reason I wanted to show you is I told you it's Adam Troutman. Number 1. I have way too much exposure to him.
You poor soul.
I've got 11 shares of this guy because he's just so cheap and free. I just keep doing it. Number two, Cam Akers, 9 shares, 45%. Like,
you talk the talk, you walk the walk, sir. You are a scholar and a judge.
Number 2, tied at number 2. A boy that we talked a lot about in the rookies this year. Go ahead, see if you can guess it. Our big rookie defender.
Kenny Pickett or Kenny Walker?
Jahan Dotson.
Oh shit! Jahan Dotson was easier to get. My bad. Yeah.
No, it's all good. So I have 9 shares of him. I
should have guessed that one.
Fouled him everywhere. And at third, now tied at third because of T-Rock. DeAndre Swift at 40%, 8 shares.
It could have clouded you. I feel like I've had an asshole.
I like that. I love that, T-Rock. Damn it.
Adam, since we're on like Dynasty Nerds, shout out to them too. Like they don't.
J-Wack, Dynasty Nerds are awesome.
I'm not fucking associated with them, but I love the Dynasty Nerds Mind GM tool, and I love their film room. I love a lot of shit about Dynasty Nerds. If you had to guess, my most rostered player, it's not as appealing as yours, even if it is Adam Troutman. It's even worse.
It's going to be one of these like crazy darts that you could get for free, right?
Yeah.
Is it Kenny Iwanga?
No.
It used to be, right?
It used to be. Good.
Is it in that range? I mean,
it is in that range.
Okay.
He plays for your team. He plays
for the Browns?
He plays for the Browns. He's a Cleveland Brown.
Wow. Man, I'm having a hard time here.
Drafted last year.
Rookie last season? It's not Felton, is it?
Yeah, it's fucking Dimitri Felton.
All right.
I can't quit Dimitri Felton.
All right.
Look. My 2 most owned players, I shit you not, Adam, are both Cleveland Browns.
Okay. The other one being
a rookie from last year.
What? Is it Schwartz?
It is fucking Schwartz.
He's getting these cheap ass Browns. I mean, I get it. I was actually, if Watson was playing this year until they drafted David Bell, I was kind of excited about Schwartz and that.
So yeah, Felton, Schwartz, Rondale, Amari, DeGuara, then Troutman, then Hunter Long, and then the first actual good player.
Talk to us.
The first actual good player. 8 shares across my dynasty leagues. Rashad Bateman.
Okay. I have 7 of Bateman. We need to have a Bateman session. I have a lot of the truthers in here. Tied with Swift. Last couple I'll give you is Albert O at 8 shares, 40%. I stocked up on him everywhere, and then I'm still defending Gibson. 6 shares of him. Schwartz.
First name, we appreciate that, man. And yes, Schwartz was the correct guess. See, the chat got it. They got it. And I am not. I listen.
Oh, don't you do that. He tried to fight me on one of our first patron episodes. I'll give you the quote. I'm only going to take so much Zach Moss slander. That was the quote.
Why you do this to me? Why you do this to me, man?
But you know what? He made the correction, and now it's James Cook. So
no, it's James Cook. That doesn't make me feel good about it, man. That does not make me feel good about it.
I had to take that chance.
Oh, my God. Wow.
I love y'all guys too, man, for real.
Mr. B, I sent Godwin plus Thielen plus a 24-second for David Bell, a 23 first, 23 second, 24th. Holy.
So I'm taking the 23 second over. We'll do a little trade show since we're going to do that tomorrow here. 23 second over the 24 second. 23 first and David Bell over Godwin. And I'm taking the 24 first for Thielen. You ran away with it, man.
Easy. Yeah, that's a killer deal. Mr. B.
That's savage.
Right. And T-Rack just got another fucking Alberto share, I guess.
That's why I said Swift was my number 3 standalone until fucking he threw me Alberto, and now we're tied.
All right.
Yep.
I got you. We're on the same thing. I've had a few. Adam was hot as shit at work today. Literally took the heat gun out and did some measurements, and in the plane it was 132.
I don't know how you did that, man.
It was scorching, but that's why we got vodka. That's why we have great viewers. Thank you for tuning in to us, and I got you, buddy. We come on Tuesday nights and have some fun.
I love this. I love when T-Rock is coming here.
Yeah, I will defend James Cook. I just took him in the Patron Best Ball League 1, Destination Devy League that Ray runs.
Yep.
Took James Cook. I'm a man. I don't fucking rank him up as high as I do in my rookie ranks on our Patreon take him. Right?
I told we both did what we said we would do.
Yes.
At different times. I told you on the show it was day 3 of the draft with Jay Rich. And I was like, you know what? After all this talk, if I don't think I'm contending, if I think I'm rebuilding or close to contending later, I'm taking J-Mo. Otherwise, I'm taking Dotson. And I took J-Mo today.
Yep.
And then right after that, I think it was JMO something, and then you took
Skymore.
Skymore
Skymore 108. I took James Cook at 109.
Yep.
Before Olave and Jahan Dotson and Pickens and Watson.
I knew as soon as I didn't take him at 107, you would be taking him. I thought about it. I tried. I went shit show on it. I'm like, man, RBs. I couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't do it.
Did you see Ray did me a solid in the third round? I got one share of Keontae Ingram, so people can't be like, you just hate him.
Did you take Keontae Ingram? I didn't see that.
I took Keontae Ingram in the third round. I thought Ray was going to smash him, but he took Tyquan Thornton, which is good because if he took Keontae Ingram, I was going to take Tyquan Thornton. So.
Did you like my little comment in the chat right before I had 2 picks in the third?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there in the third. I'm like, fuck, man, these thirds, they suck. It comes around, and I'm like, I put in the chat, this can't be the 2 QB league. And I took both Malik Willis and Matt Corral. So we'll see.
We'll get you bought in. Appreciate it, T-Rock. Oh, yeah. Apparently people in that league forgot it was a 2 tight end league, right?
Apparently.
2-9. Yes, whatever. Hey,
I think you got to love it. I mean, Trey McBride at 209 and a 2 tight end.
T-Rock, everybody who tuned in, we appreciate you so much for tapping in. That's why we do it. We have such a good time when we come on and do these AMAs. It is so fun getting to answer your questions and I guess doing like a 14-minute fucking JK Dobbins rant. Right? We get to go back and either JK Dobbins will smash and we'll look like geniuses, or he'll completely fall on his face and bust, and you'll be like, can you believe on June 21st, these 2 idiots, one of them's wearing a creamsicle Mike Evans, and the other one's wearing a Red Sox shirt that's obviously an extra large when it should be a 2X. Said you should don't be too worried about JK Dobbins.
And you know what?
Worried, but don't be too worried.
I'm proud of us. We're getting out of here right at about an hour. So we appreciate you shitheads tapping in. Love all you guys tapping in. Love everyone that's watching after the fact. And we'll be back tomorrow doing more content, and we're not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, tomorrow night we will be recording with the one, the only, the legend. It's also cool to say. I just like to say it. Our boss, Ray GQ.
The man.
We'll be on 40 Chess, which will come out Friday morning, like always. We'll also bang out the trade show tomorrow night afterwards and knock that out of the park. But I'm so incredibly excited, man. We had our podcast with Scott Connor, which was a bucket list thing for me because he's one of the smartest people and one of the most well-respected people, in my opinion, in the dynasty community. Just the way he is fucking
appreciate you.
He is Zach Galifianakis at the casino with the numbers going around his head, except for like not dumb looking, like Zach Galifianakis, really smart. Yeah. But that's how he's always processing things. So to be able to do the podcast with him, then to have the man of the Fantasy Football Expo, Bob Lung, on was incredible. And then the excitement that we had doing the podcast with Nick from BDG, Nick Ercolano, was incredible. So
right,
why not keep the momentum going, right?
Followed up with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ray GQ. Yeah, man.
You can't even say it's a myth. He comes into your living room every – he's got the wake-up show, right? He comes in there. Boom.
Yeah. It won't be in the morning. So I'm a little disappointed about that part. But
I cannot wake up that early. I'm sorry.
but we are really excited for next week. For tomorrow. Jeez, next week.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's 40. Yeah.
So it'll be out on Friday, and I think we're gonna hit the auction startup that we did. Is the massive fucking clusterfuck best ball auction startup. The deals James in here trying to make it. So we will hit that. But we appreciate everybody tapping in. It is so fucking incredible that you guys do it. We would not be here without your support. So thank you so much. And hell, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let Adam go so he can have some more Sazerac. I need a refill. This shirt's getting tighter by the minute too.
Yes. Thank you. It is no myth. Good morning, good people.
Good morning. I don't get up that early. I'm sorry. Every now and then at work I catch it, but most days, on my off days, fuck no, man. I ain't getting up that early.
So tomorrow, wake up with Ray G and tap in Friday with Mike and I and Ray.
Oh yeah, they are going to be doing some of the auction stuff too, right?
Tomorrow, correct.
Jay Rich made some fucking incredible graphics. He showed us in the chat today.
Yeah, check out the Good Morning Show tomorrow, man. Yeah.
I hope you're. I will check it out after the fact. I will not wake up on time, but I will definitely check it out after the fact. But
Yep.
that's gonna do it for us. We're gonna bounce out of here.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Love you. Out.